So this here is a Bitcoin miner, and it's damn near impossible to mine with these things at home because these fans are incredibly loud. But what if we removed them? What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Several months back, I received this Bitmain Antminer S19J Pro from the team over at 𝐷𝐬𝐻𝐷, and while it's been a huge blessing, it has also been a massive curse. Let's be honest, this Bitcoin ASIC miner is awesome, but the downside is it's crazy loud. How loud? This loud. So over the last few weeks, we've been messing around and experimenting with a variety of different soundproofing methods and avenues to quiet this down. And while they've been a lot of fun, and it's been a good time to experiment with them, they really haven't done the trick for me for my home crypto mining setup. So today we're taking inspiration from Nicholas over at Space Design Warehouse, and we're gonna remove the root cause of all of our struggles: these powerful but crazy loud ASIC fans. These babies right here put out 250 CFM each, giving us 500 CFM on the front and 500 CFM on the back at a max of 6,000 RPMs each. So let's go ahead and jump over to the computer and put my MS Paint skills to the test and show you guys kind of what I'm envisioning in my mind before we go ahead and tear this down today.
Today's video is sponsored by the team over at 𝐷𝐬𝐻𝐷. 𝐷𝐬𝐻𝐷 is a complete Bitcoin mining solutions provider and the largest distributor of Bitcoin mining equipment in the United States. 𝐷𝐬𝐻𝐷 is your one-stop shop for everything ASIC mining, from Bitcoin miners ranging from the S19 Pro Hydro all the way up to the Antminer S19J Pro. If you're looking to take mining to the next level, 𝐷𝐬𝐻𝐷 has you covered. With facility build-out services, turnkey mining containers, power transformers, and finally complete hosting services. Check them out at the link down below in the video description. Thanks again to 𝐷𝐬𝐻𝐷 for supporting the hobbyist miner community.
Okay, let's put our MS Paint skills to the test, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what we've engineered up, and then we're going to go ahead and tear apart that ASIC today and then finally get it installed. So here's what we're looking at. So inside of our shed, and let's go ahead and draw this out here. Here's our shed from a side view. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use blue for our intake side because that's gonna be our cold side, correct? So on this side here, we're just gonna draw it out the best we can. We have a blue hooded intake vent, okay? And then on the other side, we have our red, which will be our hot side, hooded exhaust vent. The next thing we have in here, oh, let's make it red, there we go. Okay, the next thing we have is this massive AC Infinity air filter box. And that's sitting right there. So let's go ahead, we're gonna do filter box. And I think I need to make that about 10 times bigger for you guys, because there's no way that you're gonna see that. Okay, so there's our filter box, got it. All right, and then on this side is our intake. And all that's coming from outside. And exhaust. I told you, MS Paint skills right here, guys. Get on my level. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it blue. We have our, there we go, our box. Okay, yeah, we're gonna make it blue. We have our AC Infinity inline fan. This is the AC Infinity 8-inch inline fan. I will put a full list, by the way, guys, to everything that I'm using with this today down below. So you could literally buy it like as a kit if you wanted to. Everything from the hooded intake and exhaust vents, the filter box, every single thing, I'm gonna list it directly down below. So our 8-inch inline fan's there. Then what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna do our ASIC here. We'll do that in orange, and that's actually gonna go almost in the middle here, okay? We'll put it like there. Let's put it a little bit, make some space. There we go. Now this is our S19J Pro. is our money maker, our Bitcoin miner. And then finally, we need to add two more things. First thing we need to add is we're going to do another blue box. And this one is an adapter. And this is from the team over at 𝐓𝐸𝐽𝐿𝐿𝐿. And it takes it from an 8-inch size for our inline fan and then actually allows you to bolt it right on to the ASIC miner. And on the other side, we'll do this in red because it's going to be hot. All right. So this is kind of our design. This is what we've kind of come up with at this point. So everything is in place right now. The only thing we need to do is strip down the S19J Pro and remove those insanely powerful, but also very loud ASIC fans. Now, I actually bought two of the 8-inch inline fans from AC Infinity, but there's no way in hell I can fit them. I totally underestimated the size of the AC Infinity filter box. That thing is huge, massive. I kind of wish it was about half the size, but it is what it is. So with that in mind, we're just going to use this to cram air straight down the front of the S19J Pro. So this is kind of our game plan. I'll put links to everything down below, descriptions if you guys want to read up on it. But let's go ahead and cut back over to the table. And then we're going to start to take apart our Bitmain Antminer S19J Pro and remove the fans. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and remove the 4 fans, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. We're actually on the exhaust side right now because we do need to go ahead and remove these screws. Once we've removed the fans, we can go ahead and install the shrouds, or also known as the adapters. So we have our 𝐈𝐴𝐺𝐸 kit right here. Let's go ahead and crack that open. Let's break out a screwdriver. We're going to put our plate right here so we can put our screws in there as we go through them. And let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we got that off. Let me go ahead and tilt this down. I'll show you guys what we're dealing with here. All right, so, oh man, it's not light. All right, so check it out. So we have all of our cables coming in. These are our 2 from the intake side. And then on this side, we have our exhaust ones coming through. So we have 2 zip ties that we actually have to go ahead and cut. And that'll give us access to, you can see right here. Here is our 1, 2, 3, and our 4 fans. So let me go ahead and cut these 2 zip ties. Okay, so we got both of those removed. So now our next goal is we want to remove these cables, is what we want to do. So we can go ahead and in here, we have 2 here and 2 over here, and they're just plugged right into the fan, just like into the board, just like you would with any other fans. So you can see here, I'm just unhooking them. And then we have the other 2, which go to the front of the board here. So that'll go ahead and loosen those up. So now that those are loosened, we actually have, you see how there's 4 now slots for our fans like you normally would have for there. Well, what we bought was these dummy plugs. And these actually tell the board, I'll show you guys. So let me go ahead, check that out. That's what we're using. See how it just has a little plug there? Nothing too crazy. You can get these directly off Amazon. I'll put a link down below. They literally say Red Devil on them, is what they say. And these will just allow the board to allow us, because if you traditionally run your ASIC without fans and you don't have something like this, it actually is going to like protect itself and actually shut down. So this is going to keep it up and running and make sure that, you know, if there's any problems that it's going to address it. All right, there you have it. All 4 of our dummy plugs are in there, good to go. Kind of like your HDMI dummy plug that you would put in place with like the LHR cards and stuff like that. Now they're in place and good to go. So let's go ahead and flip this down. And we have 2 last things we need to do. We need to go ahead and pipe our cables through, and then we need to undo the fans on the front. So let me get started with that. All right, it looks like we still have a zip tie in the back here holding this fan in place. So let's get rid of that zip tie. These fan cables, should we say. There we go. Cool. Awesome. All right, so those are removed. So let's put our top back together. All right, so there we have it. We have removed all the fans and we've gone ahead and installed our dummy plugs in the top of our Antminer S19J Pro. They look so weird. Like, this ASIC looks so odd without fans on the front and or on the back side, on this side too. I mean, look at that. You can go ahead and see the hash boards and everything just so easily in there, which is pretty cool to say the least. So let's go ahead and take this out to our crypto mining shed. All right, guys, so we are in the shed. It is crazy crammed right now. My son yesterday was like, hey dad, can I help you put mining rigs in the shed? He's 9. And I was like, yes. Kid after my heart. So we went ahead and added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our mining rigs in here. You can see right now, 79 degrees, 80 degrees, with 48% humidity on the intake side, 86 on the exhaust side. And these are the rigs in here, and they're loving it right now. So let me show you guys exactly what we kind of engineered up and we talked about within MS Paint. So we have our intake into our air filter box, into our AC Infinity 8-inch inline fan, into our adapter. Then the ASIC's going to go right in the middle, another adapter, and out the back there. So some things I didn't plan for and think about was my hole that I put for my intake was higher than it should have been. So I needed to raise up the floor a little bit. As you can see, we just used some 2x4s, cut them to length. So I had to go ahead and raise up the air filter box to have it straight through. Was kind of my goal. If I actually come in here, I'll talk about these in just a second. Let me open this air filter box. So you can see right in there, look, you see the mesh all the way in there? That's actually outside. So you can feel all that air coming through right into here, hits our filter, and you can feel it a little bit over here. But that's the way that's set up. Let's make sure this is closed. There we go, makes that loud noise. So, let me get this stuff out of the way, I'll explain it. I haven't spent any time messing with the sensors or the probes or the controllers or anything yet. I kind of wanted to wait till I got everything in place. But I needed to go ahead and do some more down here with kind of like leveling everything. So my goal was to make sure everything was level and across from here to there. Now, as you can see, my air filter box is actually kicked out a little bit because of this box here for our for our electrical coming in. So this is a lot of the stuff that I would say is oversight. You know, I tried to plan for as much as I could, but it didn't work out exactly as I wanted to, and you just kind of adapt, right? So that's our setup. We're ready to go. We're ready to put our ASIC in place. We do have this controller box here. I have not configured it yet. It's reading 82 to this probe. Check this out. It comes with a 25-foot cable, 82 degrees to the probe, and then I can adjust the speeds, and it can do 4 of the inline fans. This is another controller too. This is an older style that I could hook up to these guys here. My thought is to have the fan going at 6, so 6 out of 10, so 60% majority of the time, and then if it hits a certain temperature, I'll bump it to 8. Look at this rat's nest over here. It's just thrown together. All of this, when I get my rack in, all of this is going to be on the first tier underneath the rack. I actually took that idea from Red Panda Mining, the way he does his rack in his basement. Same thing with his barn. The first layer is like the PDUs, the switch, all the cabling on that first layer, and then the second layer has the actual shelf for all your server cases. So thank you, Red Panda Mining, for the recommendation and inspiration. Well, let me get our S19J Pro installed right over there. Okay, take a look. Whew. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. We got it in place. We got the shrouds connected here. The stock bolts that came with the Bitmain for the fans worked great, but there's 2 here and 2 on the other side that were too long, so I'm gonna have to go to the hardware store tomorrow, get the exact same size but about half, so allow me to screw those in. But for tonight's testing, that'll work. Same thing on this side, I experienced the same thing, but look at that. Nice tight up right up against the ASIC, which is great. We have our Ethernet plugged in, we have our 2 cables plugged in, and we're actually gonna split them between our 2 PDUs that you guys see. because right now one's at 3,000 and one's at, what is that, 2,100. So we're going to split the power of that between the two PDUs, because that's going to use about, was it 3,068, I think, watts. So let's come over here. First thing we're going to do is make sure we have airflow. So we're going to turn up our airflow. We're going to start at 6. This is actually magnetized. That's really cool. So that's starting at 6 right now. And I can feel that spinning right there, which is great. So it's just, right now we're just throwing air from here through here and right into that ASIC right now and cramming it through, which is awesome. Okay, so to give some baselines here, right now it's 58 dB. I went ahead and took this screenshot out at my neighbor's deck. So 58 dB right now without this on, without the fan that I just turned on, the inline fan, or the ASIC turned on. In addition to it, these were the temps from last week's video, showing we're about 52, let's say, of our intake side, and we're about 60, let's say 68 on our exhaust side. So that was with the ASIC literally sitting right there, but with none of this, just kind of sitting in the middle of the shed. No intakes, just stock exactly the way it is. So I want to see how our current setup when we power it up compares to just the stock ASIC fans. So let me get this powered on and it'll be a moment of truth. Be right back. All right, guys, so my night just went from good to terrible in about 30 seconds after turning on that ASIC miner. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So here it is. Look at this. I don't even know if you can see in there. That entire board is black. Look at this. This is on the exhaust side. That board is black. So I turned it on and it had a fault light, and I was like, all right, we'll see what happens. I'll let it boot. All of a sudden I start smelling something burning. I hear something popping, and this shroud was lit up. Like it was bright orange, like there was a flame inside here. And well, there was. So holy shit. I literally, like, guys, my heart dropped. Oh my word. I was about ready to grab one of these fireballs we got sitting here. I was like, oh my God. So yeah, things were going great. I have no clue what happened, to be honest with you. I don't think anything overheated. I mean, we were stuffing a shit ton of air down through there. I mean, I could feel the air blowing from one side to the other and everything. So I have no clue what happened, honestly. Like, it's like one of the boards just fried. That's in here. I can't see anything on this side, which is the intake side. Whew. So yeah, that's gonna end this video pretty quickly. Oh man, I don't even know what to think. So I'm gonna be reaching out to 𝐓𝐻𝐚. That's where we got this from. I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on. I don't know I don't know why that would have happened. Like, what are the chances that, now this has been sitting for a few weeks now, but like, or no, not a few weeks, maybe like a week since we did our last video. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty, let me grab my phone and my flashlight. Flashlight's on. There you go. You can kind of see inside there. Just trying to move my phone around. There you go. That board is black. I don't even know. Yeah. We'll have to see what they say. Oh, I can see inside. Wow. Jeez. Well, we'll see what 𝐓𝐻𝐚 can do to help us out here. Damn. So, not the outcome I was expecting tonight. Super disappointed. Everything was coming together. Everything was clicking. It was working out. I mean, I spent most of the day getting everything prepped, ready to go. This is probably the worst outcome possible. But you know what would have been worse? Is I got this in place. We checked our hash rates. We called it a victory. And then I walked in my house. Like, holy shit. Like, shed could have just burnt down. Damn. All right, well, I'm going to keep you guys in the loop as to how we make out, reaching out to 𝐓𝐻𝐚 to find out where we go from here. At this point, might as well just ship this sucker back, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys in the loop. Anyways, I'm sorry I couldn't provide you, I think, the results we were hoping for. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time.